It was just past 1 a.m. in a quiet Maryland suburb when the Carter family jolted awake. Loud banging shook the front door, followed by angry voices. Inside, Marcus Carter, a calm, soft-spoken black father in his late 40s, quickly moved his wife and 2 kids into the hallway. "Stay behind me," he whispered. Outside, 3 corrupt local cops, Sergeant Willis and his partners Dunn and Riker, stood ready with flashlights and bad intentions. They weren't here to follow the law. They were here because they thought the Carters were defenseless, ordinary, and powerless. "Open up. We have reason to search this house," Willis yelled, smirking at Dunn. But there was no warrant. No paperwork. Just their ego. Marcus opened the door slightly, keeping his body calm and composed. "Officers, what's this about?" Willis pushed forward aggressively. "We'll tell you once we're inside. Move." They expected fear. They expected compliance. But what they didn't expect was that the quiet man standing in front of them, the man they thought was nobody, was actually the NSA's Deputy Director of Intelligence Operations. And in seconds, their whole world would flip. Before Marcus could speak again, Sergeant Willis shoved the door wide open and stepped inside like he owned the place. Dunn and Riker spread out, flashing lights into rooms, knocking over picture frames, barking orders at the terrified family. "Hands where I can see them." Dunn snapped at Marcus's wife, Tanya, as she held their daughter. Their little boy, Eli, clung to her leg, shaking. Marcus raised a calm hand. "Officers, you have no legal authority to be here. Do you have a warrant?" Willis smirked and leaned in close. "Don't need one. Got a tip you people are hiding something. So unless you want trouble, keep quiet," he said. "You people," loud and slow. Tanya looked at Marcus with fear. Eli started crying softly. But Marcus stayed steady. Not angry. Not intimidated. Just watching. "You're making a mistake," he said quietly. Willis scoffed. "Oh really? And what are you gonna do about it?" Marcus didn't answer. He didn't need to. Because at that exact moment, Willis kicked open Marcus's office door. And froze. On the wall were multiple clearance certificates, framed commendations, cipher analysis awards, and a large secure line phone blinking with a coded alert. Riker squinted. Sarge. This guy looks government." Then he noticed the badge ID on the desk. Dunn leaned in. "Read the name." Turned white. "Marcus D. Carter, NSA, Deputy Director." Willis swallowed hard. Because now he understood. They didn't raid a house. They just illegally invaded one of the highest-ranking intelligence officers in the country. And Marcus finally stepped forward. Calm. Ice cold. "Officers," he said, "you have exactly 10 seconds to explain why you're inside my home." Willis instantly shifted from tough guy to nervous rookie. Look, Mr. Carter, Deputy Director Carter, there's been a misunderstanding." Marcus didn't blink. "Then clarify it. Now." Dunn stammered. We got an anonymous tip. Someone reported suspicious activity, we thought." "You thought," Marcus cut in sharply, "that you could storm into a black family's home in the middle of the night, without a warrant, without cause, and get away with it?" The room went silent. Willis tried to regain control. "Sir, let's just step outside and—" Marcus raised a hand. "No, you stay right where you are." He walked calmly to the secure phone on his desk, picked it up, and entered a short code. The officers watched him, sweating. A voice answered immediately. Deputy Director Carter, what do you need? Marcus spoke clearly. I'm initiating a Level 3 home breach protocol. 3 local officers entered my residence. Illegally. I need immediate federal response. Willis's jaw dropped. Dunn felt his legs shaking. Riker whispered, "Oh God." The voice on the phone responded. Understood. Federal task force will arrive in 6 minutes. Marcus hung up and turned back to the officers. You should have walked away when I asked for a warrant. Willis tried one last desperate attempt. Sir, please, we can talk this out. We didn't mean any harm. Marcus stepped closer, his voice steady but powerful. You kicked open doors. You terrorized my wife. You frightened my children. And you did it because you assumed we were powerless. Willis swallowed. Riker whispered, "We're done." And then, through the open door, they heard the distant sound of multiple engines roaring toward the neighborhood. Tanya held Eli and whispered, "They're coming." Marcus nodded calmly. "Yes. And now you'll answer to more than just me." Within minutes, the quiet neighborhood lit up with black SUVs, flashing lights, and the sound of boots hitting pavement. The corrupt officers stood frozen as 24 federal agents formed a perimeter around the Carter home. A senior agent, Director Hayes, stepped inside without hesitation. He didn't look at the corrupt cops. He walked straight to Marcus. "Deputy Director Carter, are you and your family safe?" Marcus nodded. "Yes. But these 3 officers forcibly entered my home. No warrant. No probable cause. And clear racial targeting." Hayes's jaw tightened. He turned to the corrupt cops slowly, deliberately. "Sergeant Willis, Officer Dunn, Officer Riker," Hayes said, "place your hands behind your heads." Willis tried to protest, his voice cracking. We didn't know who he was. If we had known." Hayes cut him off sharply. "That's the problem. You only respect the law when you're afraid of who you're dealing with." 2 federal agents grabbed Willis and Riker. Another cuffed Dunn. Tanya watched from the hallway, holding their kids close. They were safe now, finally. Willis tried one last desperate push. "This is a misunderstanding. We were just doing our job." Marcus stepped forward, calm but deadly serious. "Your job is to protect citizens. Not terrorize them. Not violate their rights. Not break into homes because of your biases." Willis had nothing left to say. Federal agents escorted the cops out one by one. But as they reached the door, Hayes turned back to Marcus. "Sir, protocol requires your formal statement tonight. We can take you to the command center or conduct it here." Marcus looked at his kids, shaken, tired, clinging to their mother. He spoke firmly. "We'll do it here." Hayes nodded. "Then we'll set up. And Deputy Director, don't worry. They won't see daylight for a long time." The corrupt cops were placed into separate vehicles, still shocked, still sweating. Then Hayes looked back again. "There's also someone on the way, someone who insisted on coming personally." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Who?" Before Hayes could answer, a dark limousine pulled up outside.